Instead of soaking in the spotlight of his Oscar win, Hamdan Bullal was suddenly thrust into the flames of violence, with his fate dangling by a thread. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot, the Israeli actress who has often used her platform to voice support for Israel, remains silent on this issue. It's a tough pill to swallow. The world often dances around the edges of reality, avoiding the sharp edges of truth like a hot potato. And while some stand on the sidelines, trying to make a name for themselves in the echo chambers of global debates, others are out there, on the ground, experiencing the brutality of what the world pretends not to see. Take, for example, Hamdan Bullal. Not long ago, No Other Land took home the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature, a film that shed light on the harsh realities of Palestinian life under Israeli occupation. But less than a month after that monumental win, one of its directors, Hamdan Bullal, found himself in the most horrifying of situations, attacked by Israeli settlers in the village of Susia, a place central to the very story his film told. Yuval Abraham, another co-director of the film, shared the horrific details of the attack, describing how Bullal sustained injuries to his head and stomach. But what is perhaps even more damning is the role of the Israeli army, who, instead of intervening to protect Bullal, arrested him during his transport to safety. Less than a month after No Other Land clinched the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature, the film's co-director, Hamdan Bullal, found himself in a far more chilling spotlight. His success, which had touched hearts globally, was overshadowed by the brutal reality on the ground in the village of Susia, located in Masafer Yatta. According to The Guardian, Hamdan was brutally attacked by about 15 Israeli settlers, who did not just stop at physical violence but aimed to break the spirit of resistance his film had so powerfully portrayed. While he comforted Bullal's young son, the whereabouts of his co-director remained unknown. Adra described the terrifying situation via The Guardian. There were dozens of settlers together with the Israeli soldiers, and they were threatening us with weapons. The police were there from the beginning and did not intervene. While the soldiers were pointing their weapons at us, the settlers started attacking the houses of the Palestinians. The sheer audacity of this attack, right after the film's Oscar victory, suggests something even darker at play. As Adra put it, Basil Adra, another member of the No Other Land team, was left reeling after the violence, as he took to social media to report the aftermath of the attack. Now, let's turn the lens on Gal Gadot. The Wonder Woman star, whose name is nearly synonymous with empowerment and resilience, has used her platform to speak out about Israel's struggles. She has stood firm in her advocacy, posting messages on social media in solidarity with her homeland. No Other Land chronicles the efforts of Palestinians in Masafer Yatta to resist the Israeli military's attempts to demolish their villages. The story is one of struggle, resistance, and the fight to keep a home alive amidst constant threats of violence. And yet, despite the film's critical success, the violence continues. Adra, speaking to The Guardian, said it bluntly. Palestinians in the village have been under physical attack by settlers almost daily. The film, a collaboration between Palestinian and Israeli filmmakers, shows a community under siege. The question here is one of empathy. Where does it go when you're not in the spotlight? Gadot's silence in the face of Bullal's assault is telling. When you're a public figure, your words and actions carry weight. It begs the question, does standing with Israel mean turning a blind eye to the suffering of the Palestinians? Her response to the October 7th Hamas-led attacks, for example, was unequivocal. She posted an image, via Instagram, of the Star of David with the caption, "I stand with Israel, you should too." But Gadot has been silent about the attack on Hamdan Bullal. Amid the controversy surrounding the brutal assault, she hasn't said a word. She has posted about the horrors faced by Israelis, but when it comes to Palestinians or the very people who made a film about the Palestinian struggle, her silence is deafening. Snow White backlash, political rifts, and now a gritty World War II thriller? Gal Gadot's ruin might be her most personal and powerful project yet. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Gal Gadot and Matthias Schoenaerts are looking for justice in their World War II feature Ruin. Set in the rubble of Germany following World War II, with a newly released camp prisoner, Gadot, forming an alliance with a German soldier, Schoenaerts, as they both seek revenge on a Nazi Schutzstaffel unit. Mark your watch lists, a new Gal Gadot movie is in the works. We're still reeling from all the controversy surrounding that subpar Snow White remake. Regardless, The actor who became a household name with Wonder Woman has no time for such trivialities in life. She has been busy lately. And from the looks of things, it's for all the right reasons. Soon, everyone will forget about Snow White's politically charged backlash that, quite distastefully, managed to drag even the Israel-Palestine conflict into its midst. That's just how Hollywood's ruthless engine has functioned for a long time. Nevertheless, Gadot's new movie is bound to give many talking heads something new to talk about. After all, she's stepping into the shoes of a newly released camp prisoner in post-World War II Germany. This won't be Gadot's first turn playing a Jewish role. The 2004 Miss Israel's Giselle Yasher, from the Fast and Furious franchise, hails from Israel. She even opens the first Sharab house in the 2012 Israeli TV miniseries Kathmandu. Reports suggest that Christian Bale was the initial choice for the German soldier alongside Gadot in this movie. But there's no doubt Matthias Schoenaerts, of the Danish Girl fame, is more than qualified to see out Ruin's ambitious venture. Filming for the movie will begin in early 2025, with New Zealand filmmaker Nicky Caro slated as the director. Kaz and Ryan Firpo are behind the critically acclaimed screenplay that topped the 2017 Blacklist. Maydriver Pictures will co-produce the film alongside Gal Gadot and her husband Jason Varsano's Pilot Wave Motion Pictures. The executive producers of the film include director Caro, Gillian Hormel of Ludoscripts, Mary Allo of Allo Entertainment, and the Firpo brothers. But it doesn't stop there. She is also currently filming another thriller titled The Runner for MGM Amazon Studios in London. This is certainly a welcome change of pace for Gadot, who has been involved in a lot of controversy ever since the war broke out in Gaza. Gadot is a former member of the Israel Defense Forces, courtesy of a mandatory 2-year service term, has been in plenty of negative headlines for her pro-Israel stance on the matter. All those issues bled onto the set of Snow White. And beyond. Beyond these, Gadot will soon portray Irina Sendler in her biopic. For those unaware, she was a Polish woman who saved thousands of Jewish children during the Holocaust. Plus, she's also filming an 8-part series chronicling the life of Hedy Lamarr, a Jewish actress and inventor, set to premiere on Apple TV. Adding fuel to the fire, Zegler spoke out about elements of the original 1937 film, calling them dated. Beyond just casting, the very idea of remaking a film, seemingly no one asked for, drew fire. Actors like Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage felt a story featuring 7 dwarfs was culturally incorrect in 2025. In his words on Marc Maron's WTF podcast in 2022, they were very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that F***king backward story about 7 dwarfs living in a cave together. Disney's live-action Snow White remake became a lightning rod